The interesting part, at least to me, is that the drive is upgradable, and there's like a certification process that's got to go through and stuff like that. Because it's a new Gen 4 PCI Express drives, and so there's like a you can't just throw any old M.2 drive in there, right? You have to an NVMe drive, and you have to it has to be like PlayStation approved. So I'm curious how much those things are going to cost, and I'm also curious how much storage. For one, there's a bunch of questions, right? How much storage is the thing is it going to launch with? Supposedly 880 gigs. That's number one. And then number two is how big are these games going to be? Some people are saying they're going to be bigger. Some people are saying they're going to be smaller. And the reason I think they're going to be smaller is, and I just recently found this out, and I'm curious what you think about this, so I know I'm going on a rant here, but so the games, as of right now, in order to improve load times, because games are traditionally on a spinning hard drive, right? The assets, in order to reduce load time, they will take, let's say there's a bush, right? And in order to load that bush into the scene, the mechanical arm would have to go to the physical location on the disk where that's stored in order to load it. So if you're loading a scene from a different part of the disk, that just adds to loading time. When you have potentially thousands of assets that you have to load into memory, that takes up time. So what they do to speed up loading times, like in games like Grand Theft Auto, they'll dupe assets. So the where everything's physically laid out on the disk, it'll be closer to where it's needed when the load happens. And the consequence of that is, of course, bigger games. So because it's an SSD, and it's always going to be an SSD, meaning the games never have to be coded for a hard drive. My presumption is that if the only reason the games will be larger is because of the graphical fidelity.